Another quick vlog for my daughter. I don't know why. Sometimes you get these hunches to make these little vlog videos. So basically, that's where most of them, is where I get the idea from them from. Um, but basically, things to remember through life is how you feel, or even when you're a little older and older, how you feel is a lot of times how we, your parents, have felt when we were young. And I just want to let don't be afraid of why you felt a certain way or thought a certain thing, because we have all had those thoughts, good or bad, whatever, as far as, if you're not feeling good that day, or if you're mad at your parents or some other people, because I'm sure they've been mad at you too. You try not to be, and a lot of times that's fine. You just remember to let it go, and it's not that serious. So that's the main thing I'm trying to say here about how you might feel. Like sometimes if you're mad at somebody that you like or care about, sometimes it's the farther version of empathy of something that you ate off the spectrum, or a food allergy or anything like that, whether it's peanut related, excessive sugars or chocolate. It might be tricking your brain, believe it or not, or any other variety of bad things out there that you may have eaten and not aware that may not be the best for you. And then other times it's from whatever. You never know. There's sometimes stuff in the air. Air quality can make a difference if you're getting enough oxygen in your body. That's why they recommend to have a lot of plants in your house if the air is not stale. I mean, every now and then we open up the house and just make sure it's aired out, especially in the summertime. Um, Sometimes you just get used to that stuffy air all the time, and it's good to let your house air out. And some people light little candles, leave them on the stove so they don't catch anything on fire, just to help change the air quality, I guess you could say, as far as that. Just people light candles for different reasons. Some do it for the aromatherapy. We usually just use, I don't even know why I brought that up. It wasn't even part of the plan. Um, we just use the non-scented candles because we're not trying to do the aromatherapy, and because grandma's allergies and sensitive smells that some people have. So, anyways, the main thing I was definitely trying to say and impress upon is, definitely you have to like yourself, love yourself the way you are. Read the affirmations, make some up, study it, research, do meditations if you need to. Some people physically fit, do whether it's yoga or exercise. Go to the library, read a book, look online, watch your YouTube videos, talk to a trusted friend or a doctor that really knows their stuff. Nutritionalist, if it's got anything to do with any of that. But across the board, just like yourself, love yourself, forgive yourself for silliness or whatever. And the other part of the empathy thoughts is, I don't know why I'm bringing it up now, but sometimes I notice, like sometimes like when I was younger, sometimes you would get not necessarily a bad feeling, but a bad thought about a person that you liked or cared about, and I don't know why, but sometimes I believe that it's the empathy part of how either they're feeling either towards you or somebody else is feeling that way towards them. And I don't know why that I thought this before, because there's times you pick something up, and then I talked to this one guy years later, and I don't know, they used to walk across my grandmother's property when they were kids, and they're like, oh man, that's, they didn't think she was being very nice sometimes. And back then, she didn't want people cutting across her property, especially when they could have took the road or a different route. So she was kind of stern on that sometimes. So they could have put that out there unknowingly, that energy years later, because it was funny that we ran into them. And it's like, you just never know what paths were crossed before you got there or after. And we used to go by these people's houses every day, and I always wondered who lived in the house, and I never knew. They lived in this small, cool little looking log cabin, um, just on a little hill and ravine off of the road around the corner from us. And I never knew for years and years who they was. And then years later, I worked with this guy, and he was telling me a story where a couple of times they walked through the property line, and she was more or less yelling out the door for them to go off the property and not to come that way. So it's funny the things that people learn or know about people from your past, and that's something simple. Believe me, I'm sure there's way worse out there, especially with social media nowadays. But I don't know, it's just interesting. You never know which energies are flowing around or what thoughts that have been created in people's head about people that were like. And I found this out years and years later, and so I couldn't really have a laugh with her about it. But she had passed, 10 plus years before then, I think. At least 5 to 10. So I don't know. It's just things to keep in mind and be aware of. And I don't know. The thoughts come and go off the beaten path. And that was the main thing that I wanted to say to you, my daughter, is keep your head up. Thoughts come and go for different reasons. I don't want to say, I mean, some people have moods for different reasons, whether it's culture related, environmental related. Some people have hormone issues, whether it's from food or stuff in the body out of alignment. Can a chiropractor help? Maybe. Can eating right help? They say definitely. So it depends on what we're eating and taking into our body, and we like a variety of food, so making sure we get the healthier food is definitely the way to go. And I'm just adding stuff to the video now because it's definitely off the beaten path of, if you're feeling this way later when you think about it, don't feel bad. It's the I forgive me, I forgive me, I forgive me, I forgive me, I forgive me. I understand that life in the world and the universe was around thousands and thousands of years before me, and it'll be around thousands and thousands of years after us. But it's the stuff we do here while we're here that can make a difference. And basically, you forgive your family, your parents, whoever's bothering you, but make sure you mostly forgive yourself and move on past it. If people have been mean to you, it's not that it's okay. It's just that you forgive them and release that and let it go, and you confront them so they don't do it again. And that doesn't matter who it is. If family, friend, foe, whatever, then you confront them the best you can and the way you can. If it's in school, then sometimes you have to confront them through a teacher or a principal. I mean, everybody knows that. So you don't get in a fight, especially when you're older, because that's where I think a lot of teenagers get in trouble. They want to talk to people, and sometimes it comes across the wrong way, and others are on little power trips. And then if that's not confronted when they're younger, from elementary up, then they go into high school doing some of the same stuff, and it goes into the work world. So some of that is talking to and confronting people as it happens and occurs, no matter what it is, within reason, because some people get a little sensitive over nothing, and then they want to turn something into it. There's a difference of learning what it is that's bothering you, especially, is it a joke or is it bullying? If you're not sure, then sometimes you need to ask them. If they're rude to you still, then, you need to involve a parent, a counselor, a teacher, or above, and find out what the issue really is so it doesn't continue on or persist. So this is just added vlog information of what's coming to the mind now since I got the video running and the mouse moving. So that's why I've noticed, I look at some of the little crappy fights that happen either in junior high or high school that people got involved in for, we'll say nonsense now, because years later they must look back at it and laugh, and I suppose some of them still have hurt feelings over stuff, but just in general. And I mean, it probably means a lot less 20, 30 years later, but at the time it was really significant in their life. And if they would have just had somebody to talk to, friend, parent, teacher that they could trust, or a guardian, or guidance counselor is what I meant to say. So nowadays with social media, they can tweet, Instagram, Facebook, whatever they do, text, cell phone. Nobody talks on the phone anymore from what they tell me, and if they do it through Messenger. Messenger phone, it's harder to hear on. And all the other ones, video games, more people chat through video games from what I'm understanding, and I'm sure there's other connected societies out there where people just used to have those RPG games where they just make memes and walk around, and I don't even know which ones all those are now, because some of them are just like socialized rooms that they can go in and create a little character and just chat, which is kind of cool because it gives them something to do that's not crazy, I guess. Anyways, not too out of control. And some of them aren't even playing the video games. They're just doing whatever, tablet games, or socializing, which is what the social networks is basically supposed to help do. So at least a lot of them have platforms where they can talk or chat to people if they don't have anybody like real close to them at the time available. So that's, another thing that I'm bringing up. So basically, I don't know. I guess most vlogs can apply to anybody, but some of the stuff is really like I try to express myself for my daughter for later in life if she can look back and laugh or be happy or say, I forgive me, I forgive me, I forgive me, I forgive me, I forgive me. I let it go, I let it go, I let it go, I let it go. I understand now, I understand now, I understand now. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Whatever she says of the day. So that's where I'm going to and coming from and trying to reach and attain, whether it's you or somebody else that may need the advice, or the input or the thought, and I hope it helps. Wherever you are, whoever you are, whatever year it is, whatever social media you may have viewed or not viewed this on or heard the audio, if it helps, I hope it helps. All right. Thank you as always for a like, a share, a subscribe. Right now we're in the middle of switching channel names, maybe starting a second channel. We don't know yet, so we're just posting here until we figure it out. So if you've made it this far in the video, thank you for your time. Take care of yourself. I do upload in several formats. I try to anyways because I like the theme and I don't know which theme I like the most. So sometimes I like that little ghoul theme. Probably shouldn't have put that on there, but you'll have to research that. It's from the 70s, probably the 60s. I don't know. I'm not that old. All right. You guys have a good day. Take care of yourselves. Be well always.